All right, good morning, everyone. Get signed into the chat here, and we will be off to the races. What's up with this? Seriously? All right. 1 second here. Interesting. My video capture device is missing. So we'll just add a new one. 1 second here. There we go. Sorry, I just have to, let's see, we need to do. That one, and then one more, and we'll be going. Sorry, I've been having some issues with Streamlabs lately, and I don't know why. It's being such a pain in my butt. Let's see. It's there we go. All right, gonna get my big old head out of the way here. As Johnny would say, get your big old head out of the way, dude. All right. All right, let's go. Good morning. I'm Dark Algo. Thanks for joining me on another morning watch this building session, dude. Sorry, definitely slacking. I don't know what's up with that. I think it's got to do with the fact that my puppy was up at 3:30 in the morning. Didn't want to, or 1 in the morning, didn't want to go back to sleep. So yeah, I was quite irritated about that. So the market yesterday, talk about being able to play both ways. If you caught any of that, congratulations. I was in some NVIDIA puts or calls, and I got super impatient because I had a bunch of stuff going on yesterday. Personally, I don't know if I mentioned, but one of my daughters got a touch of the beer bug. Got a new puppy for my son. He stayed home to play with the dog all day. Right? I was like, whatever, dude. That's cool. I know my parents would have never let me stay home from school to play with a dog. I guess I'm a better parent when it comes to giving my kids that kind of stuff. All right, so with that being said, we're going to find some plays today that are going to make a greater than expected move. Let me just get the news pulled up here, and we'll get into it. Hopefully everybody had a good day yesterday and made some money. I know that some people made some money. I know that some people lost some money. I know that John Carter racked out $1 million trade off of SPX, which is funny because in the group he only traded one. So he made $1 million. Other people made 1,000. They've been. I think maybe he's found his groove again. I know there for a minute it was a little hit and miss. Little hit and miss. All right, so I'm looking at Apple. All right, here's the news. Check it. Yo, we got some news. Snowflake made the news again today. We like snow. Everybody likes snow. I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna come visit Laz to play in the snow in Miami. Just kidding. Snowflake, nice bullish, nice big old bull flag on the 30-minute. If it can hold this support and move up, 280's incoming. I like 280. I like 290 on snow. I'll keep in mind, intraday, shorter time frames, it's got a 5200 it's about to run into. So that 285 level is going to be key. Above 285, Snowflake hits the 4-hour top, right? It's a 295, 300. Rejects 282, 285 level. Then we come back down, right? We come back down to 4-hour bottom, 263, with support coming in at 270. So we're going to try to break up and through this 285 level, which is the 5200 SMA on intraday, right? So that's this level here, right there. That's the 200 intraday, and then we've got our 200, the 30-minute 200 right above that. So, right, it's got a pretty significant overhead resistance, so any volume and momentum can get it through it. But looking at, right, we're double green, but we're decreasing histogram, decreasing ready aim fire, right? A little intraday, little short spurts firing off. So typically what we may see happen would be a rejection of the 5200, at least the first attempt, because we're just chilling at the 4-hour mid, daily cloud, weekly cloud, monthly cloud, possibly, weekly bottom, 4-hour bottom, daily bottom, right? So maybe the first attempt will be a rejection, or we just chill, and then we back test to confirm that this is new support, and then we make a run up at it again. Okay, if you wanted to play it safe and play it smart, you'd wait till it got above 300 for that move back up to 330, 340. But will it get there, right? That would be a pretty significant recovery. I'm thinking more of an extended inverted head and shoulders that takes place. Definitely Snowflake is on my favorites to list. It's been upgraded to a buy with a target of 370 from Loop Capital, saying the pullback in enterprise software sector since mid-November highs has driven many stocks in the group down 30% or more, versus a 15% decline in the NASDAQ and a 23% decline in broader IGV software index, right? Pretty decent. Okay, Unitysoft, Logitech. Oh, Logi had it. So earnings, let's not forget earnings. Logitech reported a 2% drop in sales to 1.63, but topped 1.27 billion estimate. So they were like, we're gonna not make money, and guess what they did? They came in and they made money. Currently, they're chilling at the daily bottom cloud. Big old rally up to the 4-hour top, back to the 4-hour mid. Remember, it's ping pong, right? Trading stocks is a ping pong game in between the color channels. So if this 4-hour mid holds here at 78-ish, we can take another run up at the 50, 4-hour top, 80, 82, right? But you see how we rejected that 200 right there? That 200 is one of the most powerful stopping or support tools out there. So just be careful. NVIDIA in the news today is quietly preparing to abandon its purchase of ARM Limited from SoftBank Group after making little to no progress in winning approval of the $40 billion chip deal, according to people familiar with the matter. And Laz, I finally watched Billions yesterday. Excuse me. I don't know if it's going to be a Prince. I don't know if Prince can carry the show like Axe did, right? I don't know if they can do it. I see what they're trying to do, but I don't know if they can do it. Vidi, I played this video play. I got scared, right? I cut here. It went to here. So keep in mind, we did cross above the 200. We got scared. We came back down, and we're currently chilling at the 4-hour bottom. This is setting up a glorious move, okay? 30-minute inverted head and shoulders, possibly, but more than likely an Elliott wave move. So as far as overall market goes, I think that we're going to get maybe one or two more, maybe some more rallies going into Powell. If the market is starting to make all-time, it's starting to recover again, Powell can actually come out and have some comments. If it's tanking, his hands are tied. He can't come out and really say anything, because if he's hawkish, he drives the market to zero. If he walks back his statements, then it's just he's going to be in a tough position. So I think the market's going to be flat going into Powell tomorrow. Is that tomorrow? I think it's Wednesday. Hold on. Is Powell tomorrow? I think so. Yeah. Hey, Laz, I just wanted to tell you, man, I appreciate you showing up here every morning. I know that you've got, I introduced you to the new group, and they're starting to do some pre-market stuff, so I just appreciate you showing up. I will try to be done earlier with the important stuff so that I know you can get over there and get prepped for the day. I just want to tell you thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Okay. And you too, Johnny, wherever you're at. All right. And watchlist and Terry, everybody that shows up here every morning, I really, really appreciate it. Striker, trying to come up with a dog name. We haven't named our dog yet. Boy Boxer Inverted Brindle. So it's a black with a brown brindle stripes instead of brown with black brindle stripes. Super rare dog. Yes. So, but we're having a problem coming up with a name for him. Anyway, Vidi, if it can hold and break, if it can get above this 200, so basically above 2. All right, the safe play in NVIDIA is above 230, right? However, there is a move from 225 to 230. I like to be safe. So then the downside, if it breaks 223, it comes back down and tests whatever. What is this? What is this red line here? Is that something I drew? Is that something I drew? Ooh. Oh, I have a is that the 200 moving average? This is a trend line. My bad. Jeez, we're above the 200. Suckers. So yeah, as long as we stay above the 200, where's the 50? Hold on. Oh, there's the 50. Jeez Louise. All right, so NVIDIA back above the 200. If we can maintain this 4-hour bottom at 223, right? Then I think that we get that move back up monthly top out of monthly top cloud above the 4-hour bottom. Move up to 4-hour mid, 242. Daily bottom, 247. Big move coming in NVIDIA. Contrarian, we break that. We have 200-day moving average support at 220. Below that, we come back down and we test previous lows, 210, 212, 215. 1 second. I need a different chart. All right, so here's the deal. I need somebody to help me come up with a Windows trading machine. I mean, to be honest with you, I can't deal with the slow lagginess. It's just, my hands are tied and it's frustrating me. Like super frustrating. Anyway, if NVIDIA breaks down, weekly bottom bounce 220. If that fails, 215, 210. Okay, that was NVIDIA. IBM. So IBM shares are up to 6% on earnings, right? They gave it all back. Pre-market, 30-minute rally, pullback, daily bottom, daily mid, daily top, unless it comes back down and tests the bottom of the daily cloud, which is the 4-hour. So we have weekly mid here, we have 4-hour bottom, and we have the bottom of the daily support level. Okay, which is also the 50 period. So we rejected this 200 SMA, which I don't know, for whatever reason it's not doing its job. Okay, I'll figure that out later. So up off of news, bunch of profit taking at 138. Like it went Right, it went 128, 138. If I was an investor and I made $10 per share, I would definitely start taking profits. I don't think it's a peg stock in that it didn't take its a wedge breakout, came back down. It's testing. It's fighting with the 5200 at 132, 133. So if it can get back above, so 4-hour mid, daily mid, 4-hour top. So above 133, 134, 135. I don't think we get back up to 138. Contrarian, we pull all the way back down here. So IBM, pretty decent. Israeli government advisory panel on recommending offering a 4th COVID vaccine to all adults. Reuters reports. You know what? Now you can watch Myrna after I fired it, right? God, I hate this stock. I hate that stock so bad, so hard, so much hatred. All right, 4-hour bottom. So big play today off of news, right? If it can clear previous highs, I think 4-hour mid at 168, 4-hour top at 170. Moderna can move, right? This is setting up to be pretty decent. However, if it gives up the 4-hour bottom, 153, 140 incoming, it's going to do another Yankee to Yankee yank down back. Does anybody have Moderna? Let me just ask the group. I fired it and it's going to rip today, so maybe we can get a free play out of it. Let me just ask. It is going to move today off of news from Israel. Okay. Smile Direct Club, STC, announced a strategic partnership or strategic actions to increase profitability, international footprint, prioritizing to markets versus with best potential for profitability, cost reductions to right size, OP structure, focus investing on core growth. Smile Direct Club, dude, seriously, why am I looking at penny stocks? Well, this one has a tendency to be super volatile. Okay. If you trade penny stocks, this is a good one to make money off of. 5200-day support, big old weekly top. It's got to get through. Above 232, 250 incoming. Okay. PetMed Express, pets, right? Q3 earnings, missed on revenue by about 4 million. You see that big old ripping like wick killer? I would stay away from this one. There's better opportunities out there for your $20. Pfizer and BNTX said on Thursday they started a clinical trial to test a new version of their vaccine specifically designed to target the new variant, which has eluded some protection provided by original 2-dose vaccines. This one, again, do we want to get back into the song and dance of Pfizer with its inverted head and shoulders? Sure, why not? 4-hour bottom, 4-hour mid. So above 5167, a move to the daily bottom at 5250, 5350, and then 4-hour top at 5450. Okay. You can also possibly chop back and forth. Chop, chop, chop. This is a 4-hour chart. So since, you know what? So since we're like basically scalping options, right? I want to trade off of the 30-minute. So Pfizer, if it can get, like I said, above 5150, rally to 52, make a decision there. If it decides to retrace, looks like dividend day coming up at the end of this week. 53 is the upside target for Pfizer. BNTX, this one moves similar to Moderna. This is a good move here. Rally, pullback, rally. Currently testing the 34 weekly bottom, 4-hour mid. If it can break above 159.25, let's just call it 160. Yeah, above 160, 170 incoming. Above 172, we have 180 incoming. This is a pretty decent move. Slingshot squeeze getting ready to release. So squeezes are going to release to the upside. Ready and fire getting ready to fire off. This was a good move into it yesterday. Maybe a little bit of pullback. If it like I said, if it rejects this 160 level, it's coming back to the 4-hour bottom, right? Which is 150. So above 160, we hit 170. Below 160, we hit 150. Okay, that's BNTX. I'm gonna write that one down. I need a new one. Morning, YG. Yes, Tesla. We will look at Tesla. I promise you. I like Tesla. The Tesseract, as we call it here. Striker. I like that name for a dog. Can be interesting. Johnson & Johnson. Laz, J&J's back in the news, right? They had earnings, EPS 2.13 versus 2.12. Sales 2.4 billion versus estimate of 2.5. Sees adjusted EPS at 1040 to 1060 versus 1032. 40-year sales at 98 to 100 billion versus 97 billion. Pharmaceutical sales at 14.29 billion, 16% year over year. Worldwide medical devices sales of 6.8 billion, 4% year over year. So what happened here? Ooh, earnings. What do we do on earnings when it looks like this? Stay away. Reject 4-hour bottom, goes to weekly bottom after testing monthly mid. Okay, above 4-hour green, so above the green, we go to purple, white, green, purple, right? Possibly 5,200. But we've got to get through that level first, right? We got to get through it. I don't think we're going to do it. I think we're going to reject it. Look for a downside move on Johnson & Johnson today. Zions Bancorp. I hate Zions, dude. I tell you what, if you ever lived in Utah and grew up in Utah, you would know that they have a chokehold on the entire state. Okay. So they're setting up for a bullish move off of their earnings, right? EPS 134 versus 131. NII 5534 or 553 million versus 555 million. Okay, so this is a decent move, right? 60 to 63, right? Not too shabby. I'd stay away until it gets above 65 for a move to 68, 70. Okay, this is what that move will most likely look like. So we had a nice little rally up to here, right? We're gonna pull back up to here, pull back up to here. Right, very generalized move. No squeezes releasing double yellow, double green. I mean, this is definitely uptrending, and it's in the bank industry. Steel Dynamics, Flex Steel, Crane, GE had earnings, right? 0.92 versus 0.87, right? Like that earnings, pre-market drop, rally, bounce, rally. What do we do in stocks like this? Looks like it's trying to form a bull flag off of the daily bottom, 4-hour bottom. So safe play above 96.50, right, for a move to 99, and then that ever elusive $100 target on GE. 3M, I used to trade 3M. I like trading the stock. EPS at 231 versus 201, so they beat on earnings. Beat on Q4 sales. Healthcare sales up 0.7%. Transportation electronic sales down 1.5%. And consumer sales up 4.1%. Big old rally. 177 is going to be that key level. We got the 50. We got a bunch of mids here. I think it stalls out at about 178. Has to get above the 4-hour mid at 175. So above 175, 178, 179. Rejects 175. We come back down to 173, 172, 170. Squeeze, slingshot squeeze released. So we get about 5 more periods of this squeeze releasing to see if it can continue to propel price up. However, 170, 160, 170 is going to be pretty significant overhead resistance. It's a 250-50, right? Makes sense? All right. You might want to just chill out on it for a minute. Victoria's Secret announced partnership with Regina Miracle International Holdings related to its existing company-owned businesses in China. VSCO. Right. I mean, look at it. Just steady incline yesterday from 50 to 55. It's coming up on the 5,200. So coming up on resistance, previous highs, getting into that new trading zone. All right. So 4-hour mid 54. Right. So if it can bust above 55, so Victoria's Secret above 55, sees 57.50. Rejects 55. I think we back test the 50 on the 30-minute at 53. We reject 53. We come back down to 50, 52, forming a perfect inverted head and shoulders, and then a rip later on next week. Singapore tightens in surprise moves, sending currency higher. Further monetary action expected at policy meeting in April. SGD hits 3-month high after first off cycle since 2015. Australia's hotter inflation fuels bets on earlier rate hikes. Money markets pricing in a good chance of rate increase in May. And Deutsche TD, RBC, and Citi now see first rate hike in August per Bloomberg. All right, key events today: Goldman Sachs Global Macro Conference and Jeffers Winter Restaurant Food Service Gaming Lodgings and Leisure Summit virtual. Those are virtual earnings after the close. Now we're starting to get back into that decent earnings seasons. Microsoft has earnings today. Okay, Microsoft has earnings. Earnings warning on Microsoft. Don't trade Microsoft till next week. You don't want to get sucked in this IV crush. They'll just smash you like a bug. Just stay away from Microsoft today. Nothing else that we typically trade. TXM, what is that? Texas Instruments has earning. These are all after the close, right? Stay away from that. And then earnings before the bell. Johnson & Johnson. So J&J had earnings. And Lockheed Martin. That's always a fun one to trade. Right? LMT. If you like trading $300 or $400 stocks. These move so easy to tell. For our bottom, for our mid, for our top. Out of the weekly cloud. 382. Okay. All right. So events today. Weekly sales. Redbook weekly sales. Consumer confidence for January. When is Powell speaking? Let's check out Forex Factory, shall we? Okay. Nothing. Consumer confidence at 10. That might move the market a little bit. Tomorrow, however, right? Big market moving stuff, right? Monetary policy, rate statement, FOMC statement, funds rate, press conference, CPI, crude inventories. I would highly recommend being flat at the end of today. Tomorrow is a big day. Just be flat. Come on. Please, we're in a marathon, people. We're not in a sprint. All we want to do is keep our seat at the table and not give away all of our monies that we work so hard to get. Dude, QQQ, what a move yesterday. Glorious move. So that's tomorrow. We have big market moving events tomorrow. All right, get loaded up here. All right, let's check out some. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm not done yet. My bad. My bad. We got one more news events. Jeez, that's a lot. Hopefully everybody's keeping an eye on the VIX. It's kind of a little telltale signal. Volatility continues after one of the wildest days on Wall Street. U.S. stock futures are down roughly 1% after major averages exhibited one of the unlikeliest rebounds ever yesterday to close near the highs. S&P fell about 4% Monday before ending slightly higher. That was yesterday's incredible market rebound simply a dead cat bounce? Absolutely. Or the start of a bigger uptrending move after starting out the year awfully? The answer at this moment appears to be the former, with futures broadly lower, led by another sharp decline in high-growth tech stocks as treasury yields are climbing. The VIX is up for the sixth session on Tuesday after jumping to one of its highest since October 2020. Big tech and growth stocks decline in U.S. premarket trading amid a slide in the NASDAQ 100 index futures as worries linger over the prospect of Fed rate hikes and raising bond yields. Meanwhile, the U.S.-Russia tensions over Ukraine continue to weigh in on sentiment. Okay, so what they are saying is... we also get Powell FOMC comments tomorrow. So they're saying that it was a dead cat bounce. Do you know what a dead cat bounce is? Okay. We have to be careful. As for yesterday, U.S. stocks staged mid-afternoon rally Monday that cut heavily early decliners, with the S&P index finishing in green to snap a four-session losing streak. The VIX climbed above 30. It hit 38. 38. Like 2 weeks ago, we were chilling like 20. Let's just be careful, please. And then the S&P down 3.99% today at lows since 1950. There's been 88 other days it's been down. In Asian markets, the Nikkei index tumbled 450 points. The Bay index is down 1.66%. Shanghai down 2%, 2.5. Hang Seng fell 1.67, and the DAX is up by 0.75. FTC is up by 0.9. So, you know what happened? Yes. I have one long that I held overnight, and I'm probably going to be regretting it. But it's in Moderna, so it's more Bitcoin related than it is, futures related. Okay, what you see in front of you is our futures chart. We're going to get through these really quickly. I need to clean them up because guess what happened? Whoosh, big old bounce. Look at that nasty bounce. That's the new low. Mark it up on your charts. I mean, we have to. We got to respect that wick. Unfortunately, I don't like to respect it, but we have to. So there is a new low in town. And it's weird that it stopped right there. Like, yeah, there's a bunch of little volatility over here, and a lot of indecision, right? But you would think okay, so let's do this. Okay, clean looking chart, right? Below the 200, 2150 death cross, right? So this is the ES. We had traded through some of these zones. We took out previous lows. We actually came down and tipped. 1 second, I gotta adjust this. Let's go with a neutral color. Man, that's pretty neutral. Okay. All right, so we pulled back, all right? We broke below previous lows, so now we're at a new low, and ripped back up. 200 is still in play, right? We have some key levels here. We're currently moving down. I would say sorry, I'm just trying to find a decent supply zone. Right, I think that's a pretty decent demand zone. What did I just do? My bad. I might be off on it. I might be off on it. All right, let's do this. Let's do this, shall we? Let's fib this piece. So I think that makes sense for a downside move. Make sure I'm on the right level. All right, we wick down to 1 standard deviation away from the mean, right? Pulled back 1, 2, 3, 4. Are we entering the 5th wave? 4260 downside target. Below that, 4200 is going to be key. Okay. I think it makes sense. We have a downside target of 41.12. Think we might hit 42.60 today, followed by the previous wick low, and then yeah. So that's the move. Let's look at the 4 hour, see what's going on there. Nice little bounce. We closed here, and I think we continue to fade off. Check out the 30-minute. Pullback, rally, slow fade. Yeah, we've got some. One second here. So that 50. All right, so we got a 2150 cross up. But I personally am going to be looking at the downside. The only way I'd look at the upside is if we can get above the 30-minute 30, so above like a retrace to the 618. I think that's a lot to ask for, considering the current state of things. So let's look. We have to look at the puts. We have to look at puts on everything. Okay. All right. That's the old ES. Let's check out NQ real quick. All right. So big old dip, dap, rally, up, rejection, and then pullback. So on the daily, let's see here. This snow line is still the target. We still have a downside target. Either we hit this 2-3, right? And we're gonna, I don't know. Let's see. 13,824. Is my downside target today. So 14,000 is a key level. Let's just keep it. Let's just mark up 14,000 because it's psychological, right? And that's basically. All right. Checking the 4 hour rally pullback. So if this is just a retracement and then we get a bump it up and up and up, we could be setting up a. That is ugly. 2 mogul lines here. Tree line rejection, mogul line. Yeah, I like this move down here. 13,825. And then we see what happens. Okay. Looking at on the 30-minute, you can tell I'm not super excited about this move. Oh yeah, look at that. What is that? 13,380. Pretty significant resistance. Right? Rally rejected. Trying to make a move. Yeah, I think we retest the lows. We could hit this 13,824 and still make a higher low. That's what I'm saying. All right, moving on. The old Dow, right? The Dow is letting us know. Well, attempted an inverted head and shoulders, rejected the 200 once, rejected the 200 twice. This level here has provided some pretty significant support at the 33,950-ish level, right? Rally rejected, support, rally rejected, support. If this support breaks, then we have a downside move of previous lows that we have to look at. It's a big one. All right, so with the Dow, just set some alerts, right? If it takes out 3440, right? Then we look at 34,615, 35,000, right? But it's just being smacked around by this 200. Rejected the 21, so there's that on the 4 hour. So I thought that we were going to get some reversions to the mean, so we would have should have shorted here yesterday at noon, right? Yeah, longer downturn play on the Dow. I don't know what makes up the Dow, but go find some of the top stocks and just be like, find a put. Yeah, this is ugly. We broke that longer term support too on the daily. All right, moving on. I guess the Russell went green yesterday. Is that true? Our little problem child over here. Remember I said if it comes back, it's going to retest this trend line, and so far it hasn't been able to make it through it. I think we just created a new trading zone for the Russell. Yep, rally rejected that, pulled back. I mean, there's a potential, like we could be potentially setting up for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move on the 4 hour. This is what that would look like. Okay, if you're bullish, this is what you want to see, right? Something along the lines of this. Okay, if you're bearish, then you'd want to see the opposite of it. We want to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that right? I mean, it's ugly, but that's what it looks like. Except for I think it's more like this. Let's try this. Hold on one second. I'll get it right. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no. That can't be it. Yeah. It's ugly. Look at it on the 30-minute. So yeah, if we take out this little green trend line here. So it's either inverted head and shoulders, or it's one more attempt at this overhead trend line. If we break that, then we can look at uptrending small caps. However, it looks to appear to be trying to make a move down. We could easily just set an alert right here at 1982.40. Yeah, so below that we go short. Above that we can look at chopping. Okay. In the rest of the market, let's look at the daily moves on this. Looks like crude or gold is trying to make a new high. If that happens, we have to keep a lookout for crypto. Crude is still steadily climbing, broke above 85 for the first time in several months. The last time it was at this level, it rejected and pulled back. However, this upwarding trend line leads me to believe that I think we can start looking at possibly 90 on crude. That's a pretty big deal. And then this is TLT. This is a bond. It's forming an inverse head and shoulders. There's no doubt about that. So left shoulder, big old head, right shoulder, and then I would say long above the neckline, which is 155.19, or excuse me, 155.16. So left shoulder, head, right shoulder, right, and then rip. Okay. And then the yen is bull flagging. Like, these were glorious months. Like the month of December, we were like, yay, Santa Claus rally. Now we're trying to get a little bit of a retracement here. So let's do this. Let's start up on the 3-minute chart. Reset these. Y'all can keep an eye on this for me. I'm going to take a real quick water break. And then I will be back to do the Smart Money Dog Pull and Block Trade algorithm software. I gotta stream for them today too. All right, so keep an eye on these levels. If it rejects these levels, then we're definitely going to have a little bit longer of a downside move. Keep an eye on TLT. If it keeps grinding its way up, and then gold, I would like gold to fall a little bit more. I'm in some crypto plays. I'd like crypto to maybe get one more rally. But I think that little move yesterday was just a big giant head fake. So from a puts perspective, I think the Ivy's been inflated, and we just have to keep it. I have to remind you, if you're buying puts, you can be assigned on those puts. So either close them before Friday, right? They may, on certain companies, they like to assign them early, but people will be getting assigned on puts. So just either protect yourself by doing a vertical or close them early. Okay. 5-minute break. I will be right back. All right, I am back. Let's go. All right, so looks like it's still rejecting the 21. So that's a big deal. All right, next up, smart money dark pool block trade algorithm software provided by FlowTrade. This will help us try to find some moves, right, that are expected to make a greater, well, that are going to make a greater than expected move. Okay. If you have requests, get them into me now. If not, I'm going to go through our watch list. Good job, dude. All right, so I'm interested in Mara. I also want to look at Tesla, QQQ, and Affirm. Okay, what you're looking at in front of you is the smart money dark pool and block trade algorithm software provided by FlowTrade. FlowTrade created their own flow index algorithm that tracks large institutional hedge funds, smart money, dark pools, block trades, all of the transactions. Okay, what it does is it calculates a predictive leading indicator showing what smart money is doing. So smart money, as they're getting into positions, they have to be careful. They can't get into a position like they can't just drop $1 billion order right here, or else it's going to artificially inflate price. When the volatility and the liquidity is gone, it's going to, by removing those shares off the market, right, it's going to create a vacuum where price is actually going to end up lower than where they entered. So they have to scale into positions slowly as price is either coming down, or get out of positions as price is going up. So the flow index tracks all of that. With Mara, for example, it is trading with price action. There's no real block trades in the last 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. In the last week, we have some block trades. The red lines are regular block trades. Blue lines are dark pool block trades, and white lines are fun. White lines mean, like, for example, here at this 23.18, 23.26 level. So 23.29, 23.26. That's within 3 cents of each other. I can't draw a line to separate those out, so I smack a white line on top of it, and we call it good. So those are major inflection points, major key areas of support and resistance. Lots of transactions are transpiring at that level, so we mark those up with a white line. Let's see. And unfortunately, I have to change this on every single ticker that I look at, so it takes some time to do. So eventually, they'll all be the right color, right? Until then, we just have to take a couple seconds to make sure that they mark up correctly. All right, so here we go. Price action and the flow index are trading with each other. Flow index is coming up to an area of resistance. If the flow index can break that and get above these block trade levels. Oh, I switched to Affirm, didn't I? Let's get back to Mara. Dang it. I gotta do it again. My bad. 1 second. As you can imagine, it gets a little frustrating having to do this every time. But it's important for y'all to be able to see what's going on at what level. All right. So the flow index has broken previous resistance here. It may backtest it for a continuation move to the upside. Are they truly buying into this? Well, they're trading with price action. Price is making a 1, 2, 3 reversal, or excuse me, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Elliott wave reversal. There's a little bit of a gap to fill here, right? And there's a trading zone basically that trades here. Right, I'll just move this up. So there's a trading zone there, right? We're also in a trading zone above previous flow index resistance. Okay, as far as block trades are going, right? In the last week, we've got a regular block trade coming in at 23.69, right? That came in on the 21st at 10 o'clock, which is about right here, right? Could be a sell order and cause price to come down. we have a white line, which is, like I just mentioned, that runs like, that's the 2325 level, right? I'm just gonna use that there. You like how I faked that fib? I know, it's pretty slick, right? And then regular block trade levels here. Just move that over here. Right, so the move would be above this regular block. We start moving back up here. Now look at this fib retracement. This is actually a fib retracement, right? Right, we're currently right at the 50% retracement from this high to this low. 50%, that's not right. We're not at 1. Okay, so we're we're on our way up to a 382 retracement at 24.19. If we reject that level, we can expect a larger downside move. If we can get above, right, this previous high, which is a 382 retracement, then we can look for a move back up to 25 and trade from 25.50 to 27, right? We can trade that move there. Hopefully y'all can see that, right? Looking at the flow index for yesterday, right? You can see trading with price action. Oh, we decided on this drop that we're going to start buying into it, and they've been buying into it ever since, right? You can clearly see that that's a big one. Oh, so we're above the 236 retracement, looking for that move to the 382. We've got resistance, pretty significant resistance coming in right here at this 23.25 level, right? I didn't do that. It just did it on its own. Interesting. All right, next up on our list was Tesla. All right, Tesla block trades in the last 5 days. Bunch of dark pool levels. Last 4 days. Last 3 days, right? We've eaten up all of those block trades in the last 3 days, right? This one came in at 1343. So this dark pool level came in here. We were, from that level we dipped. The flow index was down. Looks like those were some sell transactions. They started buying back into it. Okay, so I believe. Nope. Do it again. Hopefully it holds. All right, so the flow index is trading with price action. There's a little bit of resistance that it's coming up into, so that move up to about 950, right? Before we start running into any previous dark pool levels that are going to act as resistance. They will become support above 964 for the target up to 1030. However, we can just as easily fill this gap, reject it, and move back down to the downside. Pretty much a lot of net selling happening in Tesla for the last couple, since the beginning of the year. Coming up into previous flow index resistance, or the flow index is coming up to previous resistance. If it can get above it and continue to move up, it should pull price action up with it. Now there's a bunch of, like I mentioned, currently there's a regular block level here at 930 that came in after the close yesterday. So if this is a sell order, we can expect a sharp pullback. Okay, if it's a bunch of buy orders, then we can see maybe some moves up into this previous trading zone right here that runs 940 to 980. Right, that 980 would probably be a pretty decent upside target if Tesla gets a rally. Now it's coming up into a previous resistance zone, right? These 943s, right? There's a bunch of blocks sitting right here that looks like they were sell orders, so they're going to provide resistance. If it can get through it, chop its way through it, it's got to basically fight through this trading zone here that I outlined. From a fib perspective, if we go from this high to this low, we just retraced to the 2-3 retracement. Above that, we target the 382 retracement for decision if we're going to change trend direction or if we're going to continue in a downtrend. Okay, if we reject this 232, then we're going to, we'll come back down in here and test this previous support. I'm not going to say inverted head and shoulders because, but just looking at Tesla on the 1 minute chart from yesterday, we can see how price action was, or the flow index was trading with price action all the way through this chop, and it's just trading with it, right? So gap fill possibility 940, 943. See what happens at this level. If it can get through it, see what happened last time. It just kind of chopped through it. I would anticipate maybe some people are getting weak in the knees and might start taking a little bit of profit. Tesla is the Tesseract and does what it wants to do. So just like with all stocks, they do what they want. We can't really say, oh, this is what's going to happen at this level, because we really don't know. But gap fill seems to be pretty up front and center. Okay, next up on the list was QQQ. Okay, talk about a wild move, right? This flow index was going bananas yesterday. I'm going to drop these blocks down to the last 3. The last 3 days. Okay, so right off a regular block support, right? We fought our way through it. This is kind of the same move as Tesla. Now, what happens when you get above these dark pool levels that I'd mentioned yesterday? So if you saw my post yesterday, when these dark pool levels printed, I was like, hey, we have some dark pool magnets. What happened? Price rallied up to those magnets, right? And now we need to determine if they're going to continue to move up. The flow index is trading with price. It's making higher lows. We need to make sure it starts making higher highs, okay? We've got some longer term trend line resistance that we broke through. We may have to come back and back test that as support. And unfortunately, I've got to change the dang things one more time. One more time. Can y'all hear my puppy snoring? It's the cutest thing in the world. All right, so 1, 2, this could be the 3rd wave, 4th wave, 5th wave. It's tough to tell. This looks like pretty significant resistance. We fail off, we found some support here, we rallied up, we broke through that support, gap down, unpredictable move back up. So dark pools at 35.30 or 353.30, 353. So that 350 level is going to be pretty significant. Can it create a base there for a move back up, or does it reject and come back down to this white line level? So we have a white line on here. At 344. Okay, we have an assortment of regular blocks there, and we have another white line level here. 337. Okay, so lots of support, a little bit overhead resistance. Depending on how the market does today, we can either continue up or we will reject these levels, come back and back test 344, below 344, 340 psychological level, also some regular blocks of that level before making our way back down to 337. Okay, from a fib perspective, right? I'm going to go off of this high. It's a tough call. If I go from 390, so if I take it from 390, we're coming right up to the 382 retracement, right, which seemed to be support last time, right? We fell off 382 retracement, 50% rejection, fell back through, right? Tried to find support at the 2-3 level, and we fell down to the new 0 line, up through to the 2-3, rejected it, came back, fought through it this time. We're making our way back up to 355. Above 355, we target 362, 368. We reject this level here. We come back and we use the 2-3 as potential support. So 347. So reject 355. Come back to 347. Below 347, we look at a new low. Okay. That's the QQQ. Did I do a firm already? I can't remember. Did I do a firm? Nope. We will get into it right now though. A firm. All right, so a firm. No, just a couple blocks in the last 3 days. We had some dark pulls coming in at 49.90. Regular block at 51.58, right? Buy orders. Dark pull at 58.25. If we can get above this level, right, then we got some new zones that we can trade. You know, from, let's just call it 60 to 70 with profit at 63. Flow index is trading with price. It is coming up to some previous resistance, like I mentioned before, right? Looks like price is trying to retest. Like if I were to do, is that accurate? I mean, it's pretty spot on, right? Big old wedge breakout that we're looking to have happen. Possible inverted head and shoulders. Regular blocks. So we have dark pool level 58.25, resistance dark pool level 49.90, support. We have a regular block coming in at 51.58. Fib perspective. We go from the high to the low. Right, we haven't tested the 2-3 yet, so let me go from a different level. Let's try this again. We go from this high to this low. That makes more sense. So we rallied up above the 2-3 retracement, looking to take out the 382 for a decision if we're going to reverse trend or if we're going to continue in a downtrend. If we can, I mean, there may be a quick pop to 62.14. Let's just call it 62. And then we reject, or we reject this overhead trendline resistance. This dark pool levels are a bunch of sell orders. We take out the support of 57 and we move back down to 58. Okay, pretty easy peasy to see. Flow index going into yesterday, this divergence right here, divergence occurred at this level. As you can see, while that divergence played out, bearish divergence occurs at this level. Does it play out? Very possibly. So I love these new color codings, right? It's really easy to see, right? Price is selling off Flow index is rising. Divergences occur to here. This divergence got played out. We're making a new move, right? A little bit of divergence occurs where price is pulling back or price is increasing while that flow. Yeah, price flow index is increasing while price is dropping. So this divergence level needs to be played out as well. Maybe it's this pullback here, or this little pullback may have already done it, but it looks like that's still continued divergence. So like I said, we have the 2-3 and the 3-8-2 that we have to deal with. Price went through the 2-3, right? Failed, back through it, back tested, continue up. 62 target, it filled the gap, and now does it just continue to downtrend? We'll definitely have to keep an eye on a firm. Okay. Let's look at NEO real quick. NEO's very, all right, NEO's just trading with the flow index right now. Flow index has some resistance coming up here at approximately 26. Whoa, dude, I took my eyes off of NEO. Last time I looked at NEO, it was trading at 50. What happened? Ooh, it's harsh. Regular block trade at 24.87. Above that, we try to gap fill to 27 area. The flow index, they've been taking profit in this. I don't think that there's going to be a solid move here. I will run a fib from high to low. Right, we could rally to 25.60, which is a 2-3. I think, to be honest with you, let me see if I can. What is this? That's weird. If we went from this high to this low, we fell through, right? We got a pop to the 2-3, rejected it, came back down, inverted head and shoulders. So above 25 on NEO for a move to 26.50, above 26.50, we test 27.50. That would be a 50% retracement. All we need for downtrend continuation is rejection at a 3.82. Okay, but that's pretty accurate fib levels for NEO. All right, I want to look at Apple, AMD, Nvidia, and Google. Apple. Well, what have we learned? What this means? This means that they're taking profits, right? They're trading with price action. They're scaling out of positions. We have a dark pool level at 154. We have a white line level at 160. We filled the gap, right, to 162.30. Do we continue our downtrend, right? In Apple, I mean, I'm not super impressed with this falling channel, right? I'm not super impressed with it at all. So I can't use that point. I can definitely use that point there though. Pretty easy to spot falling channel. 165 rejection for the next downside, next leg down. If the algo or if the flow index continues to trade with price, you could possibly reject this gap fill to the downside. This is a Wu-Tang reversal, so 1, 2, 3 Wu-Tang reversal. However, how long does it last? I mean, we have to respect this channel that it's in. This is a longer term channel. This is seriously, what's up? If I go there to here, oh, that's ugly. I think this is a little bit more accurate. All right, so I think we get that rally up to maybe this previous low here. It's either that one. All right. Y'all can see that, right? All right, so regular block. We ripped off of that. That was probably a big buy order. Apple downside target 155. Support at 160. Upside target, I'm going to say 163. The 155 puts are for Apple are trading at about $1.90 right now. $160 calls are trading at about $5. So the 155 puts, 160 calls on Apple. All right, AMD is next. How am I doing on time? I'm doing really good on time. I feel like I missed something. All right, so this is just the same inverted head and shoulders move that everything did yesterday, right? AMD's got room up to 118 to gap fill. Okay, I misspoke. Apple broke down below the 4-hour bottom. It's at 158 right now. 155 is really easy for it to get to, right? You can kind of see the channel that Apple's been trading in. If it can't form a new higher low, right? I think it trades the entirety of weekly mid to weekly bottom. 200 SMA on the 30-minute, 147. Ooh, it can get there. It can get there. Let me check out something here real quick. I just want to see how far out of the money these 147s are. Could you imagine trading Roblox search today? They went from 60 to 70. Oh, crap. I will be right back. I gotta wake up my chicken head. All right. What did I say? Apple. 147's on Apple. 145s have got a bunch of open interest. The 150 puts have even more. I like the 150 puts at 20. Yeah. I just gotta mark something up on my chart real quick. All right, there we go. Just keeping an eye on futures real quick. And check. All right, y'all can hear me. Sweet. Okay, so with Apple, okay, y'all can see that good. All right, so this 4-hour cloud, this is a weekly mid right here. If it rejects, right, it can't get back up out of this 4-hour cloud, right, basically above 160. That's your level, above 160, above 160.20 longs. If it rejects that, then we have to look at the downside move, and the downside move has us coming in down here at 155, 150. Yeah, I'd say 155. Okay. So maybe we get a quick pop and then the failure. All right. AMD. I got to run through these last ones really quickly. I'm not going to have time to get my chart set up for the day. AMD, like I said, move up to 120, 118, 120. Flow index trading with price. We have dark pool at 116.50, dark pool at 114.50, right? That's going to act as your resistance. So we have another zone of 110 dark pool and 108.67. So that's your base. Below that, things get kind of sketchy for AMD. Right, it can't overtake this 50, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts at overtaking the 50 with a squeeze releasing and it not being able to do it. We really have to look at some potential downside moves. 110, 108 for the downside on AMD. Oh yeah, those are good. What are you doing, knucklehead? The dog? 1 second, let me finish up here and I will talk to you about it. All right, so AMD 110, 105 puts. AMD has to break out above. AMD's got to get back above into the 4-hour cloud, so it's got to get above 116 for a move to 122. If it backtests this 4-hour bottom at 114, then like I said, 105, 110 puts. The 200 SMA is down here at 108, so I think we get we get a move to the downside on AMD today. I'm going to grab the 110s. So predicted trade, sponsored trade for today for you folks would be the, just a second, the AMD sponsored by, I can't even spell sponsored, sponsored. Dead trades. Play for today. Visit them at HTTPS. AMD 110 puts. Okay. AMD gets above 116. Then we want to look at the AMD 120 calls. So AMD above 116.30 longs. Below. All right, that's it. I got to run. I'm going to leave this up for you all for the next couple minutes. For anybody that was late joining, I do have to take off. I got to go wake up my chicken heads. I will see you all tomorrow. Stay safe, stay green. I will have a great day. Bye now.